If you've been working hard, trying everything, but still feel stuck financially, this message is for you. Because the problem isn't your effort, it's the hidden program inside your mind. And until you rewrite it, nothing will change. But the moment you do, everything will. If you want to understand why 95% of people stay financially stuck no matter how hard they try, you must first awaken to a brutal truth. It's not about how smart you are. It's not about where you were born or how much you've suffered. It's not about your education or your job. The difference is mindset. It's not just positive thinking, but the deep programming of your subconscious beliefs. What you believe to be true about money, about success, about yourself. And most of that programming was never chosen by you. It was installed from childhood, from your parents, from society, from school. You were taught to survive, not thrive. You were taught to play safe, not play big. You were told to avoid risk, not create wealth. You were trained to be a worker, not a creator. And so your mind was conditioned for limitations before you ever had a chance. That is the invisible wall you've been hitting every time you tried to break through. And now it's time to tear it down. You must awaken. You must unlearn everything that has kept you small. You must challenge every belief that told you wealth is for others, but not for you. You must realize that the real prison is not poverty. It's programming. Say it aloud. I was not born to struggle. I was born to rise. You are not meant to chase money for the rest of your life. You are meant to attract it by who you become. But attraction begins with awareness. So look at your life with brutal honesty. What patterns keep repeating? What beliefs are holding you down? What excuses have become your identity? Most people blame the economy, the government, the system. But the truth is, no external force is stronger than the internal story you believe. Until you change that story, you will keep living the same chapter. You must become conscious of your unconscious thoughts. You must catch them in real time and rewrite them with power. Because if your subconscious believes money is hard to get, you will sabotage every opportunity. If it believes rich people are bad, you will never let yourself become one. If it believes you're not worthy, you'll push success away the moment it comes close. But here's the good news. Your mind can be reprogrammed. You can choose new beliefs. You can install new identity. You can train your thoughts the same way you train a muscle. And once you do, your entire reality shifts. You stop chasing money and start creating value. You stop working harder and start thinking smarter. You stop reacting to life and start designing it. Say this now: my mind is powerful. I choose thoughts that create wealth. From this moment, you must question everything you were told about money. You must become the author of your financial destiny. You must take full responsibility. No more waiting for luck. No more waiting for rescue. No more hoping that one day something will change. You are the one. You are the shift. You are the source. Say it aloud. I am the source of my financial breakthrough. This is the awakening. This is the first step. This is the moment you stop being a victim of circumstance and become a master of your mind. You don't need permission to become wealthy. You need awareness. You don't need a miracle. You need a mental reset. Because the truth is, the wealthiest people in the world started with a decision. They decided to think differently. They decided to rise. They decided to master the one thing that controls everything else: the mind. And now, it's your turn. So write this down. Say it aloud. Burn it into your subconscious. I take control of my thoughts. I reprogram my mind. I unlock my wealth. Because no external change is possible without internal transformation. This is the foundation. And now that your mind is awake, we go deeper into what separates those who rise from those who remain stuck. Now that your mind is awake, the next step is to anchor yourself in absolute belief and a definite purpose. Because without belief, no action will last. And without purpose, no wealth will satisfy. This is the part most people never build. They live with vague goals and weak conviction. They say they want to be rich, but deep inside, they doubt if they deserve it. And that doubt poisons every dream. That uncertainty infects every step forward. You must eliminate it completely. Say this aloud. I believe I was born to be wealthy. Not someday. Not if the economy is good. Not if I get lucky. But now, with who I am, where I am. You do not need anyone else to validate your worth. The moment you decide that you are enough, the world begins to reflect it. Wealth is not attracted to begging. It is magnetized by confidence. You must believe in your ability to create value. You must believe that your mind is your greatest asset. You must believe that even if the world says no, you will still rise. Because belief is the engine behind every financial breakthrough. When Henry Ford wanted to build an engine no one believed possible, his team told him it could not be done. But he said, I don't care what you believe. I believe it, so build it. And they did. Not because it was possible, but because his belief made it possible. The same law applies to your life. When you believe with everything inside you, the world eventually bends to that belief. Write this down. My belief is stronger than any doubt. Next, define your purpose. You cannot build wealth without direction. You need a reason so big it pulls you through the pain, the setbacks, the fear. Why do you want to be rich? To prove something that is not enough. To feel safe. That won't last. To serve, to create, to free yourself and others. That is power. Your purpose must be bigger than your problems. Say it clearly. My purpose is to live free and lift others. Once you know your purpose, every day becomes fuel. You no longer wake up confused, you wake up driven. You no longer wait for motivation. Your purpose becomes your fire. You set goals that scare you and excite you. You write them every day. You declare them with intensity. And you don't just hope, you expect. Because hope is passive. Belief is active. Say it now. I expect success because I am aligned with purpose. Your subconscious listens to repeated declarations. It listens to feeling, emotion, certainty. So speak to it like a leader. I am worthy of wealth. I am building my future. I am on a mission that cannot fail. And the more you repeat it, the more it becomes you. This is not fake it until you make it. This is train it until you become it. You do not need all the answers. You need unshakable belief and a direction. Definite purpose creates clarity. Clarity destroys confusion. And without confusion, momentum builds. People follow clarity. Money follows clarity. Results follow clarity. So get clear. Who are you becoming? What life are you building? Why does it matter? Say this now. I am becoming the wealthiest version of myself. I am building a life of freedom and purpose. I am here for a reason, and I will fulfill it. And once belief and purpose are locked in place, you have the fire. Next, you must use it to rewire the very operating system that runs your life, the subconscious mind. Now we go deeper into the part of you that controls 95% of everything you do. Think, feel, and attract. It is not your conscious mind that runs your life. It is the subconscious. That is where your beliefs are stored. That is where your identity lives. That is where your financial thermostat is set. If your subconscious is wired for scarcity, you will always find a way to sabotage abundance. If it is wired for struggle, you will reject ease. If it is wired for survival, you will never feel safe building wealth. And most people do not even realize they are carrying programs that were never theirs to begin with. You were born with abundance. A baby does not feel unworthy of receiving. A child does not doubt its ability to dream. But somewhere along the way, that changed. You heard words like money is evil, or we can't afford that, or people like us do uncan't get rich, and your subconscious took it as truth. It recorded it without resistance. And now those ideas replay like a hidden script in the background of your life. That is why you must take back control. Because until you reprogram the subconscious, nothing will stick. No matter how many books you read, affirmations you speak, strategies you try, your subconscious will always win. So how do you change it? Through repetition, through emotion. You must speak to it directly, with clarity, with power, with intensity. Say this now: I command my subconscious to align with wealth. You must impress your subconscious daily. You do this through visualization, through writing your goals, through feeling the outcome as if it already exists. The subconscious does not respond to logic. It responds to images and emotions. That is why most people fail. They speak positive words, but feel negative feelings. And the feeling always wins. So flood your mind with feelings of success. See yourself wealthy. Feel yourself free. Imagine yourself already living your vision, and repeat it over and over. Say it now: my mind is magnetized to wealth. You must also use autosuggestion. That means declaring the same powerful idea again and again until your subconscious accepts it. Write this down. Repeat it 10 times today. I am wealthy in mind, in spirit, in results. I attract money with ease. I manage money with wisdom. I multiply money with intention. The subconscious cannot tell the difference between real and imagined when the feeling is strong enough. So train it every morning, every night. Set reminders, set rituals, rewire your identity. Because your results will always match your self-image. If you see yourself as broke, you will remain broke. If you see yourself as free, wealthy, and powerful, your mind will find a way to create it. You must say this: I see myself as financially free. I see myself creating massive value. I see myself breaking the cycle forever. This is not magic. This is mental alignment. And when you align your subconscious with your conscious desire, you become a magnet. You stop fighting against yourself. You stop chasing. You start receiving. You start seeing opportunities you used to miss. You start meeting people who elevate your journey. You start becoming the version of you that was buried under years of conditioning. That is the real you, the powerful you, the abundant you. Say it now and feel it deeply. I am the master of my mind. I create my reality. I attract the life I choose. This is your new truth. Repeat it until it becomes your new normal. Because the mind you master is the life you live. And once your subconscious is aligned, the next battle is to conquer the 2 enemies that have kept 95% of people trapped in place. Now that your subconscious mind is being reprogrammed, you must confront the 2 invisible forces that keep almost everyone stuck at the edge of change: fear and procrastination. These are the chains that keep 95% of people imprisoned in financial struggle. They know what they should do. They know they were made for more, but they hesitate. They delay. They let doubt creep in. And then another year passes. Another opportunity fades. Another dream dies quietly. Fear whispers lies into your mind. It tells you you're not ready. It tells you you're not good enough. It tells you success is too risky. But the truth is this: the real risk is staying the same. The real danger is settling for a life that suffocates your soul. Say this now: I will no longer obey fear. You must understand something deep. Fear is not a wall. It's a mirage. It looks real until you walk through it. Action is the cure. You will never think your way out of fear. You must move. You must act while your hands are shaking. You must speak while your voice trembles. You must start before you feel ready. That is how confidence is built. That is how momentum begins. Most people wait for perfect timing, but perfect timing is a lie. It will never come. The only time is now. Say this with power: I take action now. not tomorrow, not someday. Now, procrastination is fear in disguise. It masks itself as logic. It pretends to be patience. It says you need to learn more. But what you really need is to move. You learn fastest by doing. You grow by failing forward. Every successful person you admire once stood where you are. They were afraid. They were uncertain, but they moved anyway. They leaped, and the net appeared. You must do the same. Write this down. Action destroys fear. Movement builds courage. Waiting kills dreams. Your brain is wired to protect you. It wants comfort, but growth lives outside of comfort. You must retrain your brain to associate discomfort with expansion. Say it now. I grow every time I step into fear. Do not fear rejection. Fear regret. Do not fear failure. Fear settling. The pain of trying is nothing compared to the pain of wondering what could have been. You are not here to live a half-life. You are not here to be average. You are not here to just exist. You are here to rise. You are here to lead. You are here to build something that outlives you. That requires boldness. That requires you to choose courage over convenience. So what are you avoiding? What have you been putting off? What action would change everything if you did it today? Do it. Send the message. Launch the offer. Record the video. Start the business. Apply for the opportunity. Begin. Say this: I act fast. I act boldly. I act in alignment. And the more you act, the more fear loses its grip. The more consistent you are, the more procrastination dies. You will no longer be the person who waits. You will be the person who creates, who initiates, who walks through fire and comes out stronger. This is how you separate from the 95%. You make decisions fast. You trust yourself. You understand that action is the gateway to freedom. You are no longer a prisoner of hesitation. You are a force of execution. Say this aloud: I move with speed. I execute with purpose. I trust myself completely. Because every time you choose action over fear, you win. And with every win, your confidence grows. Your belief sharpens. Your mind expands. And now that fear no longer controls you, it is time to channel that power into the next step. The creation of your plan, the execution of your mission, the actions that will bring your wealth into reality. Now that you've broken through fear and silenced the voice of procrastination, it's time to turn belief into results. To stop being a dreamer and become a builder. Because the gap between the rich and the poor is not talent. It is execution. And what separates the 5% who thrive from the 95% who stay stuck is this: they take massive aligned action with clear strategy and relentless consistency. While most people are busy getting ready to be ready. The successful have already begun, while most are waiting for motivation. The successful are driven by mission. Say this now: I am a person of action. You must realize that ideas mean nothing without movement. Your vision is useless without direction. Your dream will die without daily discipline. Strategy is your roadmap, and action is your vehicle. And without both, you are just spinning in place. This is where most people fail. They either move without a plan or plan without moving. You must do both. First, define your goals in detail. Write them down with a deadline, a number, a direction, because vague goals produce vague results. Next, create a simple strategy. Not a perfect one, a practical one. If your goal is financial freedom, what are the daily actions that generate income? What skills must you master? What habits must you build? Who must you become? You don't need 1,000,000 steps. You need the right few steps repeated with obsession. Write this down. Clarity plus action equals momentum. Then build your plan backward. Start from the end result and map the path to get there. And then take the first step today. No more waiting, no more stalling, no more overthinking. Say it aloud: I take fast, focused action. Your strategy must also include time. You cannot grow what you do not track. Schedule your success like it matters, because it does. What time do you wake up? What time do you create? What time do you learn? What time do you sell? Poor people react to the day. Wealthy people design the day. Write this down. I don't hope for time, I make time. You must also review your progress weekly. You must adjust what doesn't work. You must double down on what does, and you must keep going even when it's boring, even when it's hard, even when no one claps. Because repetition builds mastery, and mastery builds empires. The truth is, most people quit not because they are weak, but because they lack a plan that excites them and a schedule that holds them. You will not be that person. You are disciplined. You are focused. You are committed. Say it now. I follow through until results show. And while others chase distractions, you will build systems, systems that scale. Systems that save time, systems that create freedom. Because success is not about working more, it's about working right with structure. With strategy, with purpose, the world rewards those who move with precision and persistence. So map your path, simplify your focus, cut the noise, trust your pace, and act with urgency. This is how wealth is built, one clear action at a time, taken with fire, faith, and follow-through. And once your actions align with your goals, it's time to lock them into habits, so they run on autopilot and carry you to wealth without resistance. At this point, action is no longer optional, but action alone is not enough. It must evolve into habit, because what you do once creates experience, but what you do daily creates identity. And wealth is not built from one big move. It is built from small moves repeated with discipline and intention. The truth is, you are your habits. Your bank account is a reflection of your habits. Your energy, your confidence, your results all stem from patterns you follow every day. The rich are not lucky. They are consistent. They don't rise by chance. They rise by rhythm. And if you study any self-made millionaire, you'll see it. They rise early. They guard their focus. They learn daily. They act fast. They review progress. They think long-term. They feed their mind with books, not gossip. They spend on growth, not entertainment. They invest, not consume. They track their money. They multiply their income streams. And they surround themselves with those who stretch their vision. Say this now. I build habits that build my wealth. Now look at your current life and ask this with brutal honesty. What habits are keeping you stuck? What patterns are draining your time, your energy, your money, and what new rituals would create the version of you that thrives? You do not need to change everything at once. You need to choose one core habit at a time and lock it in. Whether it's waking up at 5 a.m., tracking every dollar, writing your goals daily, or reading one book per week, every small shift compounds. Every habit becomes a seed. And with time, it becomes a forest of results. Say this with conviction. My habits shape my destiny. The truth is, your willpower fades, but habits carry you when motivation is gone. They create momentum on autopilot, so make your wealth-building behaviors automatic. Use triggers, use checklists, use accountability, and never let excuses rule your day again. If you miss one day, get back up. If you slip, get sharper, because identity is not built in perfection. It's built in persistence. Write this down. I don't wait for motivation. I live by discipline. Install habits of health, energy, gratitude, and financial mastery. Start your mornings with clarity and silence. End your nights with reflection and wins. Review your income weekly. Set targets monthly. And celebrate progress constantly, because habits without celebration die quickly. Reward yourself for staying consistent. Speak life into your journey. Say it now. I am consistent. I am focused. I am becoming the wealthiest version of me. And once you anchor habits deep enough, they become who you are, and you no longer have to push. You are pulled. Your subconscious takes over, and your life reflects the version of you that no longer has to think about doing the right thing. Because the right thing is your new baseline, your new default, your new standard. And with these habits in place, you begin to rise above the 95%, not through force, but through flow. And now you are ready for the final layer, the deepest power of all. The force that will make your wealth unstoppable and your purpose unshakable. You've awakened your mind, ignited your belief, reprogrammed your subconscious, conquered fear. Taken strategic action and built powerful habits. Now comes the final step, the part most never reach. The step where you no longer live by circumstance, but by calling. This is where you rise beyond the noise, beyond the doubt, beyond every excuse that once held you captive. Because now you see clearly that wealth is not just money, it is mastery of self, it is spiritual clarity, financial power, emotional resilience, and a mission that moves you daily. You were never meant to be average. You were never meant to fit in. You were never meant to live paycheck to paycheck in quiet desperation. The 5% that rise are not lucky. They are intentional, and now you are one of them. Now you think like them, speak like them, act like them. You no longer wait for the world to give, you go out and build. You are no longer trapped in survival. You are operating from vision. Say this now. I am no longer available for anything that limits my potential. The world does not owe you success, but it will reflect your standards, your vibration, your mindset. If you rise, it rises with you. If you believe, it delivers. If you persist, it opens. And your job from this moment is to never return to the version of you who doubted, who hesitated, who waited for permission. That version is gone. You are reborn in focus, purpose, fire. An unstoppable belief. Say it with everything inside you. I am the 5%. I break limits. I attract abundance. I lead by example. Because when you rise, you give others permission to rise too. Your success becomes a light for those still stuck in darkness. Your breakthrough becomes the map for others to follow. This is not just about you. This is about legacy, about lifting your family, about shifting generations, about being the one who breaks every cycle. So look in the mirror and see it clearly. The old story is over, the victim is gone, the warrior has awakened. And this is the beginning of everything you were created to become. Do not stop, do not settle, do not shrink, expand, build, create, dominate, live boldly, speak victory. Walk as if it's already done, because it is. Say it now. My success is inevitable. My mission is unstoppable. My life is mine to design. And now, if this message awakens something inside you, if you feel your soul stirred, if you are ready to rise with power and purpose, then drop a comment below and tell the world. I am the 5%. Click like so more people hear this and subscribe now, so you never miss the truth your soul was born to receive.